Welcome to MADM Academy. In this video, we're going to be listing ways that you can improve your DCX. So following on from the previous video where we analysed the state of your existing DCX, now's the time where you can start writing down steps that you can take to start making a better online environment for customers. So when they start interacting with your business in future, they're going to have a much better experience. One of the first things that you'll want to look at is the amount of friction. So when we look at friction, what we're actually talking about is the problems, the little obstacles that people might encounter as they're trying to interact with your business. So things like, unnecessary content, and this happens all the time. How many times do you want to find a recipe online, for instance, and you have to scroll down to get past the war and peace that's been written about the inspiration that person had for that recipe? Now, there is a reason why they do that, and it's so that Google is more likely, or was previously more likely, to rank them higher on the Google rankings. There was a real reason outside of them just wanting to talk about the inspiration for it, but it's an example where we want something, the customer knows what they want, the user knows exactly what they want, and there's friction in the way, there's unnecessary content, or there's unnecessary steps. So this is all about, removing unnecessary features. So removing unnecessary features, which includes things like unnecessary content, anything that doesn't need to be there, essentially, any extra page clicks that people need to take. So making navigation simple, for instance, that's a huge thing you can do. In fact, most clients that we speak to about things like this, the first thing that I would look at would be navigating through the website. Is it all clear? Are there clear action buttons that people can take? When a user interacts with your business online, is it clear why they're interacting with you? Is it clear what they need to do next? Include clear calls to action and next step actions. So what are the next step actions that people can take? And then we'll format this so you remember it, to make it look like a button. So we'll choose a nice little colour here, change the font colour, and hopefully this will remind you of the common buttons that we'll see on websites. So next step actions, they're your buttons, aren't they? So navigation, these are things like your menu, but also not just your menu, wherever you would like a page visitor to go to take the next step, just making sure that users can move forwards and backwards as well. So this is all about, I'm going to actually write removing friction just to make it really clear. When you go on Amazon are probably the best company in the world at removing friction, and they've done this with a few features now which don't seem that revolutionary, but when Amazon was first pioneering the e-commerce model, they brought in features that we now just take for granted, but being able to buy an item in just a few clicks is Amazon removing so much friction from the process. They know that you want something, they know that you know what you want, and they make the entire process just a few simple clicks, and it's why they are so successful, or one of the obviously many reasons why, but it's a big reason, definitely. Removing unnecessary friction. So many times you'll visit a website and you'll have to trawl through a lot of content that you don't need to be reading or needing to see. Get rid of all that. Put it on an About Me page or an About Us page. If there's going to be tons of stuff written about yourself, put it on a different page. Get out of the way of the purchase is always a good logic to have. What are some of the other ways that we can look at improving the environment so that customers can have a better digital experience with us? Page loading. So this is specific mainly to websites, but people don't want to be waiting forever for a page to load. But it isn't just unique to websites. This can go to a lot of different software or channels that you're using. Page loading. Another one would be response time, in terms of customers emailing or using chat features. So response time, when somebody messages you, how long does it take for you to reply to them? Ease of access. This is very similar to removing friction. So ease of access. If somebody wants something, how simple is it for them to get there? Making sure that all the information that they want is there. So correct and clear information. All these things can add up to make a huge difference. We said earlier on, didn't we, in the previous video, about the importance of accessibility. So hopefully what you're doing here is starting to create a list of actionable things that you can take to do, and you can change. So you're going to improve the response time, you're going to improve the page loading time if this is what you need to do. You're going to ensure that there's correct and clear information on there. You're now going to write down that you're going to make sure that users can easily access my website and find the buy now button, for instance. So if you're selling something directly on your website, that would be very relevant to you there. So if you're selling items and you want to sell more of them on your website, make sure people can easily find that part on the website where they can order from you. Make the entire process simple. So really, this is quite a natural follow-on progression video from the previous one where we were analysing it, and I'm sure a lot of your answers here are going to be very, very similar to the previous video. What the task here is really to do is take the weaknesses, almost the obstacles that you'd identified in that previous video, and start putting into short sentences or short paragraphs exactly how you're going to change it. So if you noticed in the previous video that there's 2 or 3 pages on your website that are loading very slowly, then you're going to change your website so that pages load quicker. You might need to speak to your web developer or join us for one of our web development sessions to be able to know what you need to do for that. But hopefully now you're getting a list of 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8 things that you can do straight away to go ahead and start improving the experience of the business that you're promoting. I cannot get my words out today, I do apologise. So the idea is to make the digital experience as best as possible for the customers. So what are other things we can do? We can start make it easier for people to find you as a result of a Google search, for instance. That would be another good one. So we're not going to go on too long about this. Hopefully you've got a good idea, and if you're struggling to think of ideas, that's exactly what the 12 noon workshops are for. Join us on Zoom at 12 noon every single day if you're struggling with anything like this, or you can send us a message, myself or any other MADM Academy staff member, or just chat to us, ask us questions if you're struggling or you need some inspiration or ideas on how you can improve your DCX, or even if you'd want one of us or another member to actually test out your site. Testing is huge. We can do that for you as well. This is all part of MADM Academy. So yeah, if you are struggling or if you want some more user input, some more neutral views as well, then make sure you let us all know and we'll make sure that can happen too.